There it goes. Well, we are south of Calapat. It is, let me see, 11:48. Took off this morning at about 6 o'clock, maybe a little after 6. Went for about, I don't know. I think I've been sitting here in this spot for about 30 or 40 minutes. So, a little over 4 hours. And we keep going. I was a little bit further ahead of, further north of Calipatria than I thought. But, well, hold on, let me see if I can turn this around. I can't without going out. Ah, well. Well, dead dogs, as you can plainly see. This one's still moving around a little bit. They'll be dead before too long. Yeah. Poor pups. Oh! I said the P word. When I say puppy, look at those ears. They don't realize I'm talking about them. You're good dogs. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. Again, here's the whole setup. Repacked. I will continue repacking as necessary. It's a thing. I've been on the road for about 24 hours now. Many, many days ahead. Who knows how many? Stick around and find out. So, we're going to continue going on south. I camped, well, bivouacked not too far off the road, and so it was pretty easy getting back on. Had this nice spot. That's just right next to a canal. Got the thing that I could rig it up to keep it from falling over, but didn't actually have to lean it against. So that worked pretty well. Always finding something new. We're going to keep going. What, God, what was I even going to say? Well, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not going to show you anything yet, but we'll do that on another time. I mean, you know, as far as what I've got here. Blah, blah, blah. Middle of the day. And keep going. Casey got up. He was very stiff. So, we're definitely going to take more breaks. Did much more than 10 miles last night, or yesterday, so we'll try to stick a little bit closer to 10 as we can, at least until he gets his muscles back on him. Poor stiff puppy. Casey, there's a fly in your face. That's tacky. Stop it. Poor pit bull puppy. Oh, and there's the Tessa. At least he hasn't developed the last time I went out, he got a pretty bad blister on his foot, which then I had to pare off the dead skin, and it got me about a week. A person bought me a week's stay at Idlewild. That was really nice. The mayor of Idlewild is a golden retriever. Look it up. They were really nice. Saw us coming up the road, and it's pretty bad. A very narrow, windy road, and they were worried, of course, about the dogs. So they gave me a ride into town and then to a state park. I just wanted someplace I could pull off some national forest land, county forest, something like that, where I could just pull off and stay for a while. They were so nice. Thank you. Thank you very much, the both of you. You were very kind, and I appreciated it. We had a good stay there. When I get some internet, I'm going to try to look up, see if Idlewild Park got hit by the fire that went through there. If it did, I'm going to be really sad, because that was some beautiful area. I mean, I'm sad anyway, because that whole area is beautiful. Pretty dry. It's not surprising it went up. Anyway, we're getting back underway. Salt cedar is not the best wood for cooking with or burning for any reason. It actually does have quite a bit of salt, well, mostly in the leaves. That's what salt cedar does. It can grow in very saline soils, and it also increases the salinity of soils that it grows in. You can see all along this beautiful, I don't know, is this river, is this canal? This is California. Sometimes it's hard to tell the two apart. This is all salt cedar here. So called because it grows in saline conditions, and because the leaves look like, not cedrus, which is the true cedar, but the leaves don't look like true cedar. They look like what they call false cypress, which is sometimes called a cedar. I don't know why they call plants things that they aren't. Hey, Casey. They grow very lush where there's enough water. Where there's not enough water, they start growing much shorter, much sparser. And when there's salt, and there always is salt of some sort, calcium salts, magnesium salts, hard water, those are salts. And when there's high concentrations, instead of excluding the salt when they take up their water from their roots, they take up the water and they separate out the salt, and they send the salt up to the leaves where they get it out of the way. The leaves are very soft, but obviously they have a tough enough nature that they put up with that chemical overload, and then they drop those leaves at the end of the year. Now, if there's enough moisture, well, and even if there isn't, eventually they break down, releasing the salt back into, or it leaches out with what little rains there might be, returning that salt back to the environment. Now, there may be salt in the wood as well, which might make it less, oops, there we go. Might be salt in the wood as well, which might make it less likely to burn well. But whatever the reason, might be tannin actually, it doesn't burn all that great. However, with my little stove, we're getting some smoke there. It's not too bad. It's really not too bad. Of course, this whole stove, I'm I'm just off the road a ways, down what looked like a canal road, but I could see all these bushes and such. I've seen signs of otter, some otter footprints. Alright, well, we're a little bit further on. Had to stop. The phone tends to overheat real easy. I gotta get an app that'll deal with that. So what we've got here, by the way, is lentils. The dark color comes from some blueberries. There's rice. And then I might even throw in some ramen noodles at the end. At the very least, I think I'm going to throw in the sriracha, what is it? Sriracha chicken flavor. Boy, Maruchan, you're doing it right. Actually, Nissan is doing it right too. They've both got the spicy and like the chili lime shrimp. Hell yes. So if I don't throw the noodles in, I'll at least throw the flavor packet. I was saying, salt cedar, it might not burn well because of tannins. That's the same thing with giant redwoods. They have a very high tannin content, and that makes them fire resistant. But this stove, it's set up, I'll show it to you later. It's a burn chamber. There's the top part is a chimney, and particularly with smaller bowls, possibly like this, but definitely like one of my other pots, you can set it right down in and cook it over the coals. So it burns well. There's really good air circulation, or rather air infiltration maybe. Air comes in, mixes with the heat and the smoke, and it reburns the smoke. So you have extremely little amount of smoke, usually except when you start and when the burn chamber gets filled up with coals. But like I said, at that point you can just set one of the smaller pots down in it and continue to cook with that heat, and it simmers very nicely. It's pretty safe. It's not going to get out of hand. These, if I was to walk away and leave these with the ends sticking out, eventually they'd burn off, they'd fall out, and as long as there's not any wood on the ground outside, duff, leaves, stuff like that, which you never want to build any kind of fire anywhere near that sort of situation. As long as that's not an issue, then they just go out. That's all. Very simple. Very easily done. Very safe. And because it's very low smoke, and because all the heat ends up... Oops, I have to blow it up a bit. Nice. And because the heat's so concentrated, I mean, it's going right up. You're cooking over a chimney. The heat's not going out like a campfire. It's just going up. It's not going in any other direction because the chimney keeps it centrally open. So it's not till it gets out that it goes out. Very efficient. And it's light. It's made out of an aluminum, probably double boiler, one of those 2-pound propane tanks, the fat boys, and a paint can. That's it. Throw a grate on top, good to go. Um, so yeah, for somebody like me, who came down that road and into this spot, well away from the road. It's a Sunday, by the way. Somebody might come out here if they're out for a Sunday drive or something. But you know, it's possible that at some ugh, I hate getting that creosote on my fingers. Um, it's possible that a sheriff might come out here, but you know, outside of that, IID is probably not going to come out here. And really, the sheriff's probably not going to come out either. They've got other things they want to do. Unless somebody says, hey, there's somebody back there. In which case I might come out and check. I'd say, hey, look at this. It's all bare ground. Here we are. I threw some pepper and some butter buds, along with the obviously the sriracha ramen. That's right up to the top. That's going to be a lot of food. I'm going to have to poop so big later. Oi. Well, you know, I was telling you I saw Prince. No, not the artist formerly known as the late artist formerly known as Prince. But maybe you can see him down there. Like they're all. Oops. Let's see. I'll point with my shadow. Yeah, they're just all in there. Some of those are bird prints, but I'm definitely seeing some with webbed mammal toes. So I know that there's at least one or two. Oh, and look at them. There's at least one or two river otters out here. But then there's these huge, I don't know if you can see them, huge European carp. Just huge. I started hearing this sound every so often. They're going to do it again here. Can you see them? Little pink lips, dark body. There's just a whole herd of them in here. They're all doing their filter feeding thing. This stuff coming out here, I'm pretty sure is highly polluted by the feedlot. It just looks horrible. And then when you come over here and you see, I don't know if this will show up, maybe it will, maybe it won't, but you can see the difference. The main branch, yeah, you can see, is just, it's full of silt, and the rest of it's clear, silt, clear, but with lots of dissolved tannins and manure waste and all kinds of shit. You can see just, yeah, that's just kind of, Tessa, come over here. Tessa, come over here. It's cleaner. Go in here. Oh, that's a lot of sun. Oh, good girl. Except it's supposed to be 100 meters from the, water's edge. There's a snowy egret down that way. So, yeah, those carp are probably getting bacteria or some sort of freshwater phytoplankton or zooplankton, who knows. But they are feeding like mad in there. Yeah, just nasty looking stuff. Anyway, gonna have my lunch. Gonna take a good long rest. We'll hit Brawley and get on the outskirts tonight and be gone again in the morning. Tessa and Casey are certainly enjoying things. And my shoulders have just been killing me. My shoulders, lower back. Whew, it's a lot of weight in that pack, and it's a lot of weight on that bike. It's all self-inflicted. So, I'll do my best. Cheers.